Good morning. It's February 20 at 10 o'clock in the morning. I just got out to the property. Left the heater running all night. It probably ran constantly all night. It got down to 17 at our house, so probably low 20s here. But it's 54 in here. That's nice. And I went to Home Depot and grabbed a cabinet that did not get delivered yesterday. And I got a new toy, a new saw. This one is woodwork for the floor, but it has enough flaws in it that the floor is really important to me, and I want it to look really good. I want it to look as seamless and flawless as possible. I want to do my best. I almost regret not buying that for the framing of the windows, but it is what it is. The windows don't look too bad, and this saw could have done the floors, and it would have done okay. But it's a little bit off, cuts a little bit off. It shreds the ends of these boards. It's an old saw, so I went and got another one last night, and it's a homestead. I'm going to be building stuff forever, so it's okay. I don't feel bad about buying any tool almost, because I'm going to use it at some point. All right, so I'm going to stay in here and let it warm up a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and at least get a little bit more sanding done back here and continue doing what I was doing here with getting these all sealed on the bottom side. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple days. All right, guys, I had to show this really quick. So what time did I finish yesterday? About 4 o'clock or something. And now it's 10. So 18 hours later. These are still wet. I touched these and they're oily. I'm shocked. I thought that would have absorbed by now. So I guess it's going to take longer than I thought for the drying process. Oh well. I'm not getting cabinets, or nothing got delivered yesterday. So I went and found some stuff out, and there was really no good excuses or reasons. But this one I got here was at Home Depot, so I was able to just get that one. The other ones are all coming from the warehouse in Georgia. So for whatever reason, they didn't deliver it. Now it's going to be tomorrow sometime, all day window. Anyway, that said, they're not coming till Friday. That gives me time to put this down for the flooring. And I also bought a couple of things on Amazon that are coming on Saturday that are floor jacks for pushing the wood together, which I think is going to be highly necessary. And I didn't even know they existed. I just started researching and found that. So I'll be showing that, and I hope that works out, because some of the boards are a little bit squirrely. And then on top of that, I think just every single board, even if they're straight, you want to smash them up against each other as hard as you can. So I think that'll work really well. All right, back to work. All right, guys, I got a system going on now for sealing the underside of our planks that we're using as flooring. We're probably not doing something that's very popular. We're using pine, common board, and but we like the look of it, and we've seen a few videos of people who are doing it, and we like the way it looks. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, I've figured out a process so far that I've settled on. Thought I'd walk you guys through it. Okay, first of all, the wood here in this closet that I got piled in here was the first batch of wood that I bought. So it's been sitting here the longest. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling this wood out. Next, what I do after I pulled it out is I look at both sides Sometimes something real obvious will jump out at me. And sometimes they're in pretty decent shape on both sides. This one's a little bit beat up right here on the side, a little piece missing. I like this side overall better looking, but because that's messed up, the other side doesn't have any major scuffs, so this will be my top. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm finding my tops and my bottoms. So this one's going to have to be cut off the end. I'm not doing any cutting today. Some of these I might get down the road and just chop them up in smaller pieces. All right. I like this side better, but I've got part of a knot missing right here. And if that was not there, I would choose this side. Actually, I'm going to choose this side. I'm going to choose this side. What I've been doing on these ones that are real iffy, and I don't know how it's going to turn out because I haven't got to that part yet, but I'm just filling these in because I really like this side better than the other side. If it was close, I probably wouldn't take the time to do this, but I've got a couple of them that a piece of the knot is missing. So I'm just filling it in with wood putty. Oh, that gives me the shivers. So I won't be dealing with this until this goes down. But for now, it's just going to stay like this and dry. So the deal breakers are stuff like this. You know, I'm going to actually cut this end off. Things like that's what I'm looking for that determine something that goes down. For instance, I don't know if you can see this, but this piece is a little bit shimmed off here, missing a piece, so that would go down. You know, I can live with that. And then I look for kind of chunked out pieces. So now I turn this stuff over so that the downside is facing up, but will go against the floor. And I'll show you why I chose these. This is a little bit rough. It's not an elimination, but this is what determined me really putting this side down. And just the overall look, I didn't care as much for as the other side. And you look at this doesn't look too bad. This could have qualified to go up, but I saw a scratch line right here, a little bit off colored here. And this one had this piece kind of coming off right here. So yeah, just a few things. This is divoted here. This is kind of stuff I can take out with a sander, but if the other side is better, then it's not worth my time. So now this is the downside, right? It doesn't even really need to be sanded, but I go ahead and sand it real quick. I'm not smoothing anything out or trying to fix anything, but I am going over it quite quickly, a couple of rounds there, just to kind of rough it up a little bit so I feel like it'll receive the sealer a little bit better. Because this stuff, I don't know how long it's been sitting in a warehouse, then going on a truck, and then getting to Home Depot, and how long it's been sitting. Just kind of rough it up a little bit so it can receive sealer. Now, this is one place that I probably could do a better job at what I'm doing, but this stuff's going down to the ground, so I'm not sweating it too much. I just take a dry rag here that's clean. I mean, it ain't clean, it's got dust on it from sawdust, but, and I just do this, just a little bit of anything that's kind of sitting there. And again, I didn't sand it much, so there's not a lot to be wiped off. Then I'm coming over here, and every time I'm ready to put sealer on, I just give it a little shake. Again, remember this stuff is for outside Thompson's wood seal, but every place that we bought this stuff from, they said it's fine to go on the inside. This is going down. I'm not using it where you can see it because
Yesterday we tested 3 different sealers, their looks and their final outcome. And we didn't like this because it makes the wood more yellow and it's shiny. We don't want that. We wanted matte, and we wanted it as clear and see-through and to a point you can hardly even tell it's on the floor. All right, and then I'm just taking this here small roller. I tend to start with the middle piece when I'm sanding. I tend to roll it first just because it's on the center. And I work my way out. Again, too, I'm not doing a fabulous, spectacular job making sure I'm getting every square inch. I mean, I'm pretty much getting it all, but I'm not being a perfectionist about it. Again, I'm just saying this. I might have already said it. I probably did. You may say, why are you sealing the bottom of the wood? It's not going to be exposed. Nobody sees it. It's not exposed to getting stained or anything. We live in the South, so I'm doing this just, again, I haven't watched anybody even do this, so I don't know. I'm doing this for my own peace of mind, thinking I'm doing all that I possibly can for the floor, and the fact that we're in a humid climate, and wood tends to expand and contract. It gets quite hot here for a few weeks. And I'm not a veteran in North Carolina. I just moved here a couple of years ago. But the summers have gotten hitting 100 down here at this property, and 100% humidity sometimes. That's why it's so beautiful. It rains all the time through the summer. So we do have a wood stove. Winter will dry out some by running that, and we got the mini splits that help. That helps to act as a dehumidifier as well. But this is just a peace of mind. It's kind of like, this is going to help it maybe from not losing and absorbing water so much in the wood. Make it last a little bit longer. So now what I'm going to do is I let this sit for just a couple of minutes, maybe 5, 7, 8 minutes, whatever. And that way it just dries a little bit. I want it to soak in. It's sitting flat. It'll dry and soak in and settle in for just a minute. All right, it's been a couple minutes. I let those dry a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in here. So what I'm doing here is Valentina's idea. I didn't really picture it in my head, so I almost argued with her a little bit last night how I already had a solution. But her solution, what she said is working well, because I hadn't finished a row around here, so I was still sticking to what I was doing. I pulled all these small ones and I put a row first, and then I put the tall ones. But as she suggested, she's like, they're only going to touch at the very top. So put wet to wet and then dry to dry and just keep going back and forth. So that's working pretty well. Basically, I only have these short ones left from my first purchase. These ones are a bunch of different lengths as well. Those were for my second purchase. So the idea is to let them sit as long as I could here. They say 2 to 3 weeks. And I think these have only been here about a week and a half maybe. Those have been here a couple of weeks now, I think. So anyway, I'm going to keep on doing that. But that's the process I've been using. And it's working so far. So building this all out. And at some point, I got to let this just sit so it can dry. If all the stuff that I did first is sitting at that back, if it's sitting at the back of there, and then this stuff is all wet in the front, that is not going to do me good. So at some point, I got to just be done, let it sit for my first batch, let it all dry, and then pull it out. And then I can move it over here, I guess, somewhere, possibly. And then start doing my second batch in there. I got this is the sink portion for the kitchen sink cabinet in here. So that's that. And then I also brought my saw in here. So I'm going to get back to work and finish up what I got for the first batch. All right, guys, a little after 4 o'clock. I got everything done that was in the closet. Everything from my first purchase. But I still have all this to do. I think I'm going to end for today. I found out, so we wanted sealer that was water-based, and because this didn't dry and it feels a little oily, I just decided to look at this today. Valentina thought it was water-based, so I just made the assumption it was and didn't look at it, but it's oil-based. So it's supposed to take 48 hours for that to dry. Honestly, I want it to be dry, but if I have to put it down a little wet, I don't care because it's going down. It'll eventually dry, whatever. I don't know. It'll absorb into the wood. So tomorrow, Valentina's supposed to be off, and she'll be coming out here to do some project. We got plenty of things. And I'll probably start on this, and maybe if I can get these long ones first done, they can sit for a couple days and I'll be able to start using them out here, at least those ones. I don't know. I'll try. I'll do what I can. If not, so what if I have to cut them, I guess. I got this hallway area to use it, and I might have to cut them here. Again, I'd really rather use them out there because the less I have to cut and I get to use the whole piece of wood, then I'm not wasting wood and I'm covering space faster. So, and I feel like if I use these and I cut them to fit in here in the bedroom and stuff, I'll be throwing a lot of little pieces. Also, I didn't really think about it. I don't know why, but I was going to leave this, I guess, raw, the trim and all that stuff. And now that I'm sealing the floor, I got to thinking about it. We need to seal all the trim. And, I talked to Valentina about that today, and she confirmed that, yeah, we need to do that. Because you put things you put stuff on here, you're going to put a cup or people touch it. Up here, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But wherever we can reach, and we got a little grandson who's going to be touching everything with his little dirty hands, we need to seal everything that's possible. So we're going to be doing that too. All right, I'm going to do a little cleanup, put a few things away. All right, guys, almost 5 o'clock, heading out. I'll be back out here tomorrow with Valentina, most likely. That's the plan. And also, supposed to have our cabinet delivery tomorrow. So that'll be exciting if they come. It'll be more exciting if they come when I want them to come, because the window they're giving me right now is 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I'm not going to be here that long. Not for anybody. Anyway, we will see you guys the next time I'm out here.